What's up, friends? Coach Ed here with
Coach Mike.
and
Coach Jenna.
the Gypsy. So we
You ever play Super Mario Brothers 2?
I want to hear where you're going with this.
Well,
Yeah.
there was some cactuses, tall cactuses that you could jump on top of them and pick their head up and throw them, and they always move like that.
Like that rock star guy. Not John Bon Jovi, the other guy.
Ray Charles,
No.
how dare you?
Axl
Moving on.
Rose.
Okay, so just for everyone's benefit, just so you know that I can remove people from the screen. So Jenna's on timeout for a minute for referencing that rock star guy. All right, Jenna, you're back. So Mike, do we have any comments leading up to this show in League of Shadows?
Yeah. So 2 comments so far. We'll monitor throughout. Excuse me while I bring out my phone. So first one, just very thankful, Maureen Stewart, nurse. If you have not met her, she works out typically in the mornings. Great lady. She just wanted to say thank you for the ongoing support and all the wonderful videos and chats. I did the 1045 small group today with Jenna and a few other clients and loved it. And we'll continue to do the Zoom classes. So glad you're taking care of other people, Maureen, but you're able to take care of yourself as well. I think people like you, especially healthcare providers, for you guys to take care of yourselves is most important, and everybody else too. But like for first responders or healthcare professionals to take care of themselves, they're able to take care of more people too. So thank you for everything you're doing, and thank you for the wonderful comments. How was that session, Jenna?
It was amazing.
Real quick, we got it for Maureen and all the healthcare workers out there. Way to go, round of applause, sound effect.
Woo! Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to see Maureen's face. So, she was with a couple of her friends, and we had a good time. We had some problems with, like, technology, but it just made it, like, funny and light. And, of course, it was a good workout, and I kicked their butts because that's what I like to do.
And if you didn't know at home, Maureen brought the trap bar home. He loves the trap bar. If you worked out with her at 9:30. The other comment that we got was from Steph Petco. How are we holding up? How are the coaches holding up? What are you guys doing to? What are you doing for yourselves during this crazy time?
Ed?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just finding a time to shut off to spend time with my kids. I'm not surprised how busy I've been, but I am a little surprised that I've actually had the self-control to stop. And so I've been spending time with my kids, going for walks, tried to do a few walks with my wife, and really just trying to keep my workouts going. I had a couple weeks in the beginning that were pretty rough, so I've just been, like we talked about, I think yesterday, Mike, scaling back my expectation on what I'm going to do in my workouts and doing less and just being happy that I'm getting something in.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. Some of the things that I'm working on, just going for regular walks. I've been doing 2 a day. If you follow me on the Instagram,
The gram.
shameless plug, been posting one picture a day just of something on my walk. So one of my goals is just to do something creative every day. So I've been journaling and I've been taking photos every day, and then just trying to exercise and see people, whatever way I can.
Aw, love your answers.
Yeah.
Now ask me what I'm doing.
What are you doing, Ja?
Thank you for asking. Well, I work with my coach, Ed, on nutrition stuff, so that's been going well. I'm walking more, which is like pretty much a big deal for me because like before this whole thing happened, like I was not like walking at all. I mean, it was winter too, but like I always feel better when I like go outside every day.
But Jennifer, like, we had that as an action step for you for like 2 months, and you're like,
I know, and I was
yeah,
like,
I walked to my couch.
basically. Yeah, that was really hard for me, but I don't know. The first time, I think one of my neighbors like called me because like my neighborhood is like weird. Like my neighbors are kind of strange sometimes. So I was like, can you like come like to my door and walk me around so I know the neighborhood's cool? And then from there, I'm like, oh, I can actually like walk around here and feel okay. Yeah. And then every day, like Mike said, I try to do something creative or something related to my mindset so I don't like freak out every day.
What examples of creative or mindset stuff?
Well, I do journal and I do a lot of like spiritual work, and like working with my mind and like why I do the things I do and stuff like that. So, journaling is a big one. Looking at, how I treat others and how I behave. Just like stuff like that to work with my own mind, like no matter what comes up. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've been doing spiritual work too. I'm into season 5 of Homeland. It's exciting.
That is pretty spiritual.
So I mean, basic theme of what we want to go over today is just hitting reset, right? Restarting. We're in a place right now where we're forced into new circumstances, and some people have really hit the ground running with certain aspects of their health and fitness, and there's others that are just really struggling to, feeling like they're treading water and like not figuring out like how long they're going to be able to actually like stay afloat. So, if we can figure out how to hit reset in fitness, and we went over just like a few different examples. So, Greg Cook from FMS talks about, you can work out, you can train, or you can practice. So we're kind of trying to follow that same basic progression. So for us, like that simple entry that doesn't take a lot of thought, and it's easy to get started and it's accessible to everyone, is walking. Like, there's it's the least barrier to entry, and it's the easiest thing that you can start to do. If you have the physical ability to walk, and even if you take the days that are not so nice out, like most days of the week, there's nothing that's going to stop you from being able to walk. So a lot of people were recommending they start there.
I walked in the rain on Monday. That was really, yeah, it was brutal. But I did it, damn it. I'm seriously in my mind, I'm like, when it snows, I'm going to be out there. Like, I'm just going to do it. And it's going to be what it is. And also from a training point of view and like a more dorky side of the coin, when you take the original strength course, one of the things that happens with walking is it's a contralateral movement. And it's also just like one of the most fundamental ways that we move as humans. So it just taps back into that parasympathetic part of the nervous system, and it just becomes a natural reset for you. So not only is it just like an easy place to start exercising, but there are like neurological benefits and stress reduction benefits to walking as well.
Did you guys see the email from Original Strength? They have a Original Strength Performance course that's online now.
What
I
is
thought they
that?
were starting to offer it, but I didn't look at it. Or I saw that they were going to offer something online.
Yeah, they have the Pressing Reset workshop, and then they also have the performance one. I'm going to sign up for it. Looks pretty cool.
What?
Dorky trainer.
Yeah,
stuff.
like Coach Fury when we did the Pressing Reset one, like he even was saying like if you're sitting down, you can like do cross crawls. Like it's so freaking cool that you can do that like in any situation.
Yeah, during our meeting the other day, Jenna was cross crawling and whatever, like.
But when she does
it
it,
looks
you can only see like,
with that face.
yeah.
I want to see you pause there though and make it look like your screen glitch.
Yeah, do it. Oh my god, you're so good at it.
Really been working at that, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
if you have your own clapping button on your own screen, give yourself a clap or put a clap emoji in the comments.
Oh my god.
Jenna's just swaying back and forward during our meetings, but I think everybody has a little bit of leeway right now to do whatever is good for them. So cross crawling during a meeting, rock on.
Got to do what you got to do.
Where does True Coach fall into this whole thing, Ed?
So we said like you have that like workout, train and practice. I'm looking at True Coach more as like taking it to that next level of training. And by training, we mean actually following some sort of preset program where you can work towards a predictable result. So, there's a lot of online training options out there. The difference with True Coach is, at least the way we use it, I can't speak for everyone, is it's programmed with you in mind, right? So there's nothing wrong with general fitness. Like whatever anyone can do right now to move is great as long as it doesn't hurt and as long as it works you towards your goal. But for us, we try to just have that little extra level of attention, making sure that we have the goal, we have the program, but we also have the person in mind.
Yeah, so when I was putting those together, I mean, we had to build out some kind of general, recommended workout, and I wrote about 3 or 4 and then just kind of plugged and played with everybody. And then, the cool part was you can take a general workout and then you can modify it for the individual. So we're taking into consideration your movement profile, what your experience level is, and kind of like what your mindset is as well, and how much space and equipment you have. So, we can start to, there was people who literally I have nothing. And it was still pretty easy to put something together, from a trainer standpoint, you want to hit as many movement patterns as you can. And depending on the person's experience level, you can probably hit all the movement patterns that you're looking for. So, I mean, the hardest one to hit is probably a row. But somebody like Mary Marsh, who didn't have much equipment to start, she's really good at the eccentric push-up. If you do it, if you bring the right focus to the movement, you can hit the pattern that you're looking for. And I would put that note in there, all the way up to people like Maureen Stewart, who brought the trap bar home. She didn't really bring the trap bar home. But people who maybe like Kim and Bob, who borrowed a few kettlebells and some bands and all that stuff, and they have a decent setup, and I can pretty much hit everything that I'd like to see. So writing the True Coach workout, and we're getting into some real strength training, and it's not too far away from what we were doing at the gym. You still get the videos, you just don't get that higher level of coaching where we can coach you on the fly.
Jenna, do you do any True Coach workouts?
Way to put me on the spot, Ed.
I wasn't ready.
I started to... Well, actually, I was going to ask if anyone's been messaging through True Coach, because I think that's really cool. But I've been doing small group workouts, but I'll still, if I get the email for True Coach, I'll still be like, yeah, I did this workout because I want to get credit for working out. But I like how it's set up. I don't know. I don't think you could probably see it. But, no, it's just a blank, bright screen. But it's cool that it's, set up to the day, and you can, message the coach. And, if you go into the account, you have, your goals. You have, if you want to do progress pictures. And there's a documents thing. Your coach hasn't shared any documents yet. But if Mike shared a document with me, I would have it.
All of the documents.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I mean, the next... what's that?
We did get a Dr. Jody. She gave us a...
What?
And we got a, so good job, Ed. You elicited a response from an individual.
Yeah, so I mean, with the True Coach program, I mean, the first thing is really that it's programmed for you. So like I said, it's not that general fitness. It's more specifically catered to your program. And then, the next thing is really the idea that progression is built into the program.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next set of programs. I have to get with Brandon and upload some more videos, and then we'll take it to the next level. We'll get in some new stuff in for you guys, some different, when you're looking at from a programming standpoint, generally in the beginning, you just want to move better. So general strength training is perfect. And then as you get deeper into it, then we can start to mess with sets and reps and tempo and, work capacity and getting not longer workouts, but intensity of the workout. So look forward to a few tweaks. It doesn't change that much. There's only so many different movement patterns that we have, but different holding positions, different tempos or intensities or intervals make it exciting.
Yeah, and when the program's set up to, when it's catered to you and like progressions built in, I think the most important part about the True Coach workouts, and just I guess really any of the workouts we're currently doing, is it allows you to help build some confidence. Simply repeatedly checking that you completed your workout, seeing that you're either improving the skill or getting more work done in less time. Like whatever little wins you can stack, it's going to build confidence, and it's going to make it more likely you can work on improving nutrition or other aspects of what you need to reach your goal.
Harumph.
What'd you say?
I said harumph.
All right, respect. I'm pausing, waiting for Mike to read the note and recap the topic.
I'm not seeing that. Oh, there. Did you just put that in? That's bull. That's bull.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So again, the goal of this, or the point of this video today, is just hitting reset. So, if you can walk, awesome. If you're looking to get into strength training, Zoom is the next best option because it's continually catered to you. It's right in front of you. You can do it at your time and at your leisure. You don't, not that there's any kind of time restraint in a small group, but if you need to take a little bit extra time for yourself, or maybe you need to have a shorter workout, we talked about yesterday in kind of like an Ed situation. And I've talked to a few people on the phone, maybe they need something shorter that's a little bit more digestible for the amount of time that they have, or for their expertise is the wrong word, but for their progression within our system, maybe they need something shorter that's a little bit more compact. True Coach is a great next option for somebody to get into strength training again and reset themselves.
Yeah, and to Mike's credit, the topic recap was actually supposed to be after we talked about Zoom, so I just can't read good. With the Zoom workouts, the big idea here is like we're progressing to practice, and if you can get to the point that your workout is not only purposeful so that you can work towards a goal, but you can actually be at the point where you're where you have the ability to just improve some marker of your fitness. And I think, not the dorky trainer side of it, but just the support side. Like if you have the community support and you actually have people like legitimately, not right in front of your face, but I guess right on the screen, your friends that you work out with are there all working towards that same thing, and they're all practicing to try to improve some marker of their fitness. It's a lot easier to stay engaged when you have those other people there with you.
Yeah, I worked with 3 people today during team training, and at separate points throughout the workout, everybody was just appreciative of having that community aspect. And it was cool too. Like we had Lainey and Michelle Romano join us today, along with Chloe, for the second day in a row. Chloe, so awesome side note, Chloe is taking some kind of economic algebra or something like that. And so we were doing squats today. So we did a press out squat, and I had her grab her book bag at first, but then I was like, if there's a book in there that's kind of thick, you can use that too. So she literally opened the book facing her and then did press out squats and was like reading while she did the exercise, which was fantastic. And then we have, Lainey's husband, who's a beast with business. And I was like, oh, well, maybe he could teach us some things on algebra, economic algebra, or whatever the hell it was. Stuff I didn't learn. And then, but getting back to that too, is we had Lainey and Michelle Romano doing single arm swings, and somehow their breath actually lined up during the swings, which was great. But you can get that real time feedback. So we had Lainey and Michelle doing single arm swings, and then we had Chloe doing chop and pop. And so I was able to bring, some kind of refinement to their skill that you wouldn't be able to get through True Coach. So for Michelle, she was losing the lockout a little early in her single arm swing, so the bell was going a little bit too low, and it was giving her just like a weird hitch at the bottom of her hinge. So I just was able to turn 45 degrees to the camera, draw the triangle between my knees and the seams of my pants, and then tell her to guide the kettlebell into there, and then that that little hitch went away. And then with Chloe, she sometimes has a hard time just finding the right foot setup between squats and deadlifts. So we brought the feet in a little bit, And it's awesome because she's never swung before, but she knows how to deadlift well. So she was able to sweep the hands back into the chop and pop, really find a good hinge position at the bottom. And then yesterday she asked a good question: how high should my hands come up? So again, if we didn't say that in the chop and pop tutorial, she wouldn't be 100% sure. Nothing bad would necessarily happen, but she might be able to take the skill farther if she had a one-on-one experience. So she asked that question. I told her, you're trying to hit between sternum and belt buckle. And she said, every time I hit that spot, my lockout feels better, which was just awesome. Like, you're able to have a one-on-one experience over the internet.
The interwebs.
Yeah. So, I mean, the goal with this, again, guys, is just restarting your fitness. So finding something that works for you. I think one of the things that we kind of, I don't know if we really got to, but it's really about the environment that's going to help you be successful. So if walking is something that's just low pressure for you, and there's no real timetable or right or wrong, just go out for a walk, like, that's fantastic. If you need to go and do things at your own pace, but you do like to have some kind of skill development and a learning experience, True Coach is a great option. So you get to watch videos from Jenna and I. Everybody that has used True Coach has said that the videos were helpful, and you get to have a helping hand that brings you through the general guidelines of strength training. And then if you want that community aspect and you want that one-on-one coaching and you want to be able to develop skills farther past whatever you can see on the screen, the Zoom workout is your best bet because you have a coach there to watch you. They're all great options. It's really just, what are your goals and what environment do you feel is going to help you be successful?
I like the stank face, a little shimmy there, Jenna. Yeah, I mean, the whole point with all this is, like, if we're trying to restart our fitness, for a lot of people, at least the people in the RD ecosystem, the people that are current members or at least have past experience working with us, fitness may be the easy place for them to start. So whether you're an RD member and you're starting with a True Coach workout, a workout that you just design on your own, or you're getting into one of the Zoom sessions, that's awesome. If you're somebody who's not a member and you decide to just start moving by walking, whatever you do, our hope is that it eventually leads to you being able to hit reset with your nutrition too.
What a great segue, Ed.
Look at that.
I like how you did that. Yeah, so when we were coming up with these, like, we were thinking about nutrition resets, and it's always the same stuff, which is why we try to, like, drill it into your minds. So number one is drinking more water. And I think is that water? Oh,
you've been drinking out of that rocks glass, and it's really, like, if you hadn't told people that the tequila was washed up in PA.
Yeah, man.
Every time, like, damn.
Yeah.
What are you doing for yourself? I don't remember.
Tequila's my probiotic.
That sure
it's
needs
true.
to happen.
Yeah, I agree. So drink water is number one. Focus on eating more whole foods is definitely number two. So let's say like 50% of your diet is processed and 50% of your diet is whole foods. Try to get it towards like 75, 85, maybe even 90%.
And it's really, like, to Jenna's point there, it's the idea that we're just increasing the ratio. It's not, everybody starts with what to cut out. And it just doesn't work that way, because then you end up dropping your calories too low and then you have no willpower. So, like, like she said, if it's 50% what you would consider like suboptimal or, more processed foods, if it's 55, 60% of whole foods the next week, you're making progress and you haven't dropped the energy you're taking in.
Yeah, and I feel like when I started doing this, if I took out all processed foods, like things that I was like really enjoying and into, I would just be so pissed and sour on the whole thing. And I wouldn't have, went on. And then I wouldn't be here today.
Well, Jenna, just before we went on, Emma was upstairs and she's like, I'm really tired. I don't know if it's just quarantine, being stuck inside, or if I didn't eat enough. I'm like, well, you probably didn't eat enough and you stopped having ice cream at night. So, like, that's where you're making up your calories. She's like, oh, so I guess I'll just start having ice cream at night again.
Nice.
I thought you were going to say that she was tired and she wasn't going to do our nutrition call.
No.
And I was going to be like, I'm calling anyways. Number 3 is eating mindfully. This is one that you cannot skip. So basically, eat slowly. And we were going into, I think we are doing the notes for week 3 of the workshop, which is next Saturday, not in a few days, the Saturday after that. And we were talking about eating, what was I saying? Eating slowly. Oh, shit, I forgot.
Where am I? Eating slowly and mindfully, Jenna?
I forgot my point.
That's okay.
So let's go to the next one and it'll come back. That's okay.
All right.
That's life. Sometimes you forget stuff. So after eating mindfully is eat more protein. Ed, can you talk about that a little bit? Because you put a little note and you said that you like to say that one word.
I just like to say satiating. Protein's the most satiating macronutrient, and that's probably the dorkiest combination of words ever. But what it really means is, like, with protein, fat, and carbs, protein's going to keep you full the longest. So, we're telling you to try to add in more quality whole foods over time. If you have like a higher ratio of protein, you're more likely to be able to resist some of the suboptimal foods.
Yeah, faux show. My lighting just changed like hard body.
Yeah, that got real dark.
Yeah, real dark. Sorry, people. You can still see my smile. Yeah, and then the last thing would be tracking something. So Ed, can you go into like food journaling things?
Yeah, so at some point, most people who want to have predictable results in a predictable amount of time, they're going to need to food journal or at least track something. And the thing that people do, which is going to really like lead into the next topic we go over, the thing that people end up doing with food journaling is they wait until they're eating well enough to journal. Or the second they start to eat maybe not as well, they'll stop journaling. We really just want you to start. So if food journaling is the thing you're trying to do, put all of your sins down on paper. And I don't mean the ones you say to your priest or other religious leader. I mean like everything you're eating, because there's going to be no judgment, and it's just to get information. So don't wait until it's better. And if you find out that that tracking your food is either emotionally too taxing or it just takes too much work, because it is pretty challenging, just track something. You could track your workouts. You could track how many steps you get a day. Find something to track so you get in the habit of tracking.
Yeah, so just to recap all of that stuff, don't try to be perfect. That is like the main thing here is like, if you're trying to be perfect or if you have that all or nothing mentality, it's not going to happen. You just have to start with something. So drink more water, eat more whole foods, which will happen over time, and you'll take out your processed foods over time. Eating mindfully, eating more protein, and then tracking something.
Eventually. I think one thing on the whole foods and processed foods too is like Dan John talks about like a sliding scale. So don't think that just because like you cut out chicken wings, like you can never have chicken wings again. Like, oh, I'm at that point in my life now, like no more chicken wings. Like you can, there is a sliding scale. Dan John talks about like, all the, the chip aisle on one side and then, the vegetable aisle on one side, and it's that sliding scale. And the goal is to get closer towards more whole food choices, but it's okay if it slides back and forward, as long as over time you can get most of your time is spent closer to the whole food side over time, like Jenna said. Real quick, so just to do some shout outs. So we have Dr. Jody was watching. I don't know if she's still watching. We have Faith. Faith said it was her first small group was today, and it was a kick-ass workout. Yay for me. Lainey is loving the Zoom workout. She was saying she was one of the people in my team training class today, and she said like she had to cut off her like 11:50 meeting to make the team training workout. So we were happy to have her. Michelle Romano says hi.
Hey.
Faith said, I was a tiny bit. There's a little tiny bit of doubt. Great, loved it. Thanks, RD, for coming up with these great ways to keep us healthy. Lisa Ank is watching. Lisa's watching. Dr. Jody is still here. We have confirmation.
Wow.
And real quick before we go into the next section, I'm not exactly sure what you mean, Laney, but anything on buying equipment?
Oh yeah. So, Lainey, as soon as I get off this, I've been playing email tag with one of our friends at Perform Better. Whenever she's free, I've been busy. So we're gonna reach out to Perform Better. If you don't want to wait, performbetter.com is your best bet. I recommend for RD members, wait till we get in touch with them. We're gonna see if we can get any type. Not saying we can get any bigger discount, but I can promise you that whatever the best price is, you would get it through us. So stand by, Lainey. I'll reach out right after this to see if Mary and I can link up. But if you don't want to wait, or you're just somebody out there in the interwebs, performbetter.com, best equipment out there. Not sponsored. Accepting sponsorship. So, I mean, in terms of all this stuff like nutrition, training, it's all fine and good. But if your mind isn't right, it's you're not going to be able to do it. And the big thing that we have here is we've just noticed with everyone across the board that new circumstances just increase procrastination, and it's pretty interesting seeing just really in each lane that we've been talking about how people are finding different ways to put up resistance.
Yeah, like I didn't go for walks for like 3 months because I was like, no, I don't know why was I procrastinating to go for a friggin' walk? And then I texted my neighbor and was like, come get me. And now I walk all the time.
Respect.
I mean, one of the things people might be waiting for is like, even like Lane said, like, not that she said that she was waiting for weights to start working out, but sometimes you wait for the perfect time to do something. You wait for the perfect words to say. And so,
Oh, you should have froze there, Mike.
People,
come on.
But they're waiting for maybe to clean out some stuff before they start the Zoom workout, so that way the background doesn't look like a mess. Like, we don't care. We can get you on some bodyweight workouts in a Zoom workout. We can get you with minimal equipment. We can get you with full equipment. You don't have to wait to start getting fit, and that's kind of like what we've been going over this whole time, right?
Yeah, and we have people like Coach Caitlin's the example that we've used a few times. She's worked out in her garage, but she's also worked out in her bedroom, which doesn't have, it's not like, she doesn't have like 10 square feet of space. She has a really small amount of space to be able to use, at least that's not occupied by other furniture. It didn't prevent her from getting started.
Sorry, I was texting Emma.
Oh, wow. You just mastered the freeze, Jenna, because on my screen, you're not moving, but you're still talking. So if that's a technique, I respect the hell out of you.
I'm not moving, but I'm still talking.
Yeah, because you're actually frozen on my screen.
Oh, am I still frozen?
But we can hear you, so just go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, so same thing, like having that pause mentality and like waiting for the perfect time to food journal, waiting until the Easter candy is done or after like that meal, or, I'll start on Monday. I'll start after this holiday. Just quit it. Okay. That's some tough love from me.
Birthdays too. People will wait till their birthday month is over.
Yeah.
The birth month.
You could do that for the rest of your life. You could just keep hitting pause forever and ever. And I'm very passionate about that, obviously. So.
Yeah, yes. And I mean, so you could do it with your workouts in terms of space. You could procrastinate when it comes to food journaling until you start to eat better. You're going to start to track it. One big thing we're noticing too, it's not just for non-RD members. It's also for certain RD members. It's like kind of hoping that this quarantine is short so you can get back to your regular fitness when gyms open. We have a lot of uncertainty right now. And whether you're an RD member or you're just somebody out there in the community or on the interwebs watching, like, don't wait until gyms open again to start your fitness. We were talking earlier, like, it's kind of like the opposite of Game of Thrones, but winter's not coming, but summer sure as hell is. Like, don't wait until things get better to start to just take that first step. It doesn't mean dive in head first when you're stressed out of your mind, dive in head first when you don't know what to do in terms of nutrition. But with all the online resources out there, whether it's somebody choosing to train with us or somebody just choosing to go into any other online training option, there's a lot of really qualified coaches. And the job of a coach is to help guide you and kind of organize all the thoughts in your head and help you decide what the right first step is, and then help you troubleshoot as you go. So please, just anyone out there, don't wait until gyms open again to get started with fitness.
We want to help.
Help me help you. So the whole idea with all this is like, you know, we want to help people hit reset with fitness. And if you don't get your mindset right, if you don't get your mind right, you're not going to be able to take the first step. So just take the time, not when you're super emotional or super tired or just being hard on yourself, but try to find a time in your day when you just tend to be a little more emotionally level and a little more mentally clear, and just analyze your own process. Like, are you putting up resistance? Like Jenna and I talked recently about when I was resistant to the idea of pro coach. If you say some of these thoughts out loud, you're going to hear the pattern. You're going to hear the resistance. So if you find yourself doing that, you can reach out to any RD coach. You can email us at info.resultsdriven@gmail.com. You could also just follow us on Instagram or Facebook. We're happy to help. And same thing especially goes for RD members. If you're struggling, when you have that little moment when you notice you're putting up resistance, just shoot us an email or send us or call us. We're happy to help. Even if it's something that you know the right first step, it's always a lot easier to do when you have someone in your corner. True that.
True that, yo.
Caitlin said she can kettlebell swing in her bedroom, winning with a check mark.
Woo!
She also flexed hard.
Coach Caitlin?
Coach Caitlin.
Nice.
Yeah. So friends, thank you for joining us. Myself, Mike, and Coach Jenna are going to be trying to go live at 3 o'clock Monday through Thursday. Right now we're doing it in the RD's private Facebook group, the League of Shadows. Once we feel like we are coherent enough, we may bring it out to the masses. But we really appreciate you coming to hang out with us, and we'll see you soon.
Peace.
Bye.
Au revoir. Again.